Welcome back to the Rogue Millennial, where we dive into cultural commentary from a counterculture, rogue perspective and consider what might really be going on behind the cracking facade of mainstream media. I'm your host, Kate Hildreth, and this little lady is distracting me today, so she's going to be joining. This is Luna. She will not leave me alone, so if you see a tail just flying into the frame, that's, yeah. Okay. Today, we are tackling the myth of American greatness and diving into how our country's actually falling behind in many areas. Is America really the greatest country in the world? Let's find out. All right, folks, we are getting real today. We need to have a serious conversation about this idea that America is the greatest country in the world. Spoiler alert, it's not. And we need to stop pretending that it is. One might argue that we have more freedom, such as freedom of speech, but as we've seen more and more, censorship is alive and well, and it's everywhere, which begs the question, do we even have the freedoms that we claim to have? Do we even have the freedom of speech anymore, or the freedom of thought for that matter? And even aside from that, though, there are some serious flaws that we need to address. So let's dive right in. First off, let's talk about healthcare. Our healthcare system sucks, and no one is surprised by that statement. If you live in the United States and you think that it doesn't suck, you think it's great, let me know, because I'd love to talk to you about the specifics about how you came to that conclusion. Big Pharma is taking advantage of everyone. It's profiting off of people being sick. It's actually very smart business, right? If people are healthy, Big Pharma doesn't make money. So, what better way to make money than to have people be continuously sick so that you continue to profit? Another point here is work-life balance or lack thereof. In the United States, it's not a secret that we get minimal vacation, minimal parental leave, especially compared to European countries. Over there, it's standard to have weeks of vacation, multiple weeks, and months of parental leave. Here, we're lucky if we get 2 weeks off of vacation per year. It's no wonder that everyone is so burned out. Infrastructure, another huge one. Guys, this is so embarrassing. Look at the train systems in Europe. If you've never been to Europe, look at the train systems. Like, look it up. They're fast, they're efficient, they're convenient. Even plane travel in Europe is so amazing. It's so easy and cheap to travel from, say, Rome to anywhere else in the continent. Travel is insanely easy and inexpensive over there, and travel by train is super popular. Buses are a thing too, public transportation for sure, but trains are just incredibly efficient. They're so fast and, again, inexpensive. Compare that to the US, where traveling by train is a joke. Our infrastructure is crumbling and it's not getting any better. We're stuck in the past while all these other countries are zooming into the future on their high speed trains. The big one I want to talk about today is education. But before we get into the education system in the US, I want to take a minute to thank our new sponsor, Native Path. Native Path collagen is a single ingredient formula with no fillers, no additives, or artificial sweeteners. Plus, unlike too many other collagen products out there on the market, Native Path collagen is third-party tested for heavy metals, ensuring purity and safety. It's completely flavorless and can be added to anything. I personally add it to my coffee in the morning, or if I'm having coffee after dinner, I'll add some of their collagen PM, which is amazing if you're like me and you find yourself thinking about a million things at night while you're trying to sleep. I've already finished all the PM they sent me. This is their chocolate, which is my personal favorite flavor. It's delicious. I'm not a protein shake girl. I don't like protein shakes. I don't like the taste of a lot of the protein kind of powders that are out there. But there's something different about this one, guys. Trust me on this. So the chocolate PM, or the flavorless daytime collagen in my coffee in the morning, is perfect. My absolute favorite. Native Path's peptide formula makes it more bioavailable, meaning it's more easily absorbed into the body, and mixes perfectly without clumping, which is great. And the best part, Native Path offers amazing bundle deals. You can get 3 or 6 packs at a fraction of the price of other brands. So head to getnativepath.com/dailyclout and you'll receive a massive 45% discount. 45%, guys. How can you pass this up? Plus free shipping. A big thing for me and for anything that I'm incorporating into a daily routine is affordability. And I cannot believe how affordable this is for the quality of product that you get. So again, go to getnativepath.com/dailyclout right now and stock up on these awesome products. You won't regret it. All right, now let's talk about education. We're not even close to being the best in education in the world. I want to show you this clip that blew my mind the first time I watched it. And I think it's a great clip because it goes to show how little people actually know about the country they're living in and how easily they just absorb these buzz phrases like safe and effective and America is the greatest country in the world. And they regurgitate them without even thinking about it or asking questions. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis?
Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way.
Will?
The New York Jets.
No, I'm going to hold you to an answer on that. What makes America the greatest country in the world? Why is America
Not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
You're saying...
Yes.
Let's talk about...
Fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of our paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always?
Hey.
And with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yeah, you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is, there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and we cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, and we didn't scare so easy. We were able to be all these things and do all these things because we were informed by great men, men who were revered. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore. Enough?
That's such a great clip. That clip is from a political drama called The Newsroom, which aired in 2012. And I thought it would be interesting to take a look at the more recent numbers today to compare. First off, in the video, he said the US ranked 7th in literacy. This is from the National Literacy Institute, and these are 2024 numbers. We are 36th in literacy now, way down from 2012. 21% of adults in the US are illiterate. Only 79% of US adults nationwide are literate. That is wild. Just think about that for a second. We claim to be the best country in the world, and we're 36th in literacy. In a few minutes, I'm going to be showing you a new app that is dumbing down our reading capabilities even further. It's just crazy, guys. So according to the Program for International Student Assessment, which is PISA, in 2018, the US ranked 13th in reading, 37th in mathematics, and 18th in science out of 79 countries. The Trends in International Mathematics and Science Study, TIMSS, in 2019 didn't show much better results. TIMSS assesses 4th and 8th graders in mathematics and science every 4 years. So in 2019, 4th grade mathematics, the US ranked 15th out of 58 participating countries. 8th grade mathematics, US ranked 18th out of 39 participating countries. Guys, 18th out of 39 countries. That's a terrible rating. It's so bad. 4th grade science, US ranked 10th out of 58 participating countries. And 8th grade science, US ranked 11th out of 39 participating countries. So once again, we are not even close to being the best in education. And let's not forget the disaster that is Common Core math. Only taught in the United States, by the way. Surprise, surprise. It's ridiculous and counterproductive. If you've ever seen these videos of Common Core math, if you don't know what that is, don't worry, because I'll be showing you a clip. There's this viral video of a teacher trying to solve a simple math problem with Common Core. It's a hot mess. It's way overcomplicating things. Kids aren't learning. They're confused. Adults who actually learned real basic math are getting confused. Watch this.
So first thing is we have our multiplication problem, 35 times 12. The first thing we need to do after that is expand these two numbers. We need to break it down into its tens and its ones. I've got 3 tens, which is 30, and 5 ones. So that is 30 plus 5. 12 is 1 10 plus 2 ones. Okay, so that's step 1. The next step would be to draw a large box. Okay, and on this box, we're going to put both of our expanded numbers. So on the top, I'm going to put 30 plus 5, and on the side, I'm going to put 10 plus 2. Where your plus signs are, I want you to draw lines through the middle and down it. And then in the very corner, we're still multiplying, so I'm going to put a big multiplication sign. Starting with our very first number on the top, we say 10 times this, 10 times that. So first we're going to do 10 times 30. Sometimes it gets a little tricky when we have those extra zeros on there when we're multiplying by a 10. So I like to say 1 times 3 is 3. And how many zeros do we have? We've got 2, so we attach them to the end of the number. So 10 times 30 is 300. We did 10 times this, 10 times that. 10 times 5 is 50, so it goes in the first box. And then we do 2. We go down to the 2 because we're done with the 10. 2 times this, 2 times that. So 2 times 30. 2 times 3 is 6. And between both of these numbers, I've only got the 1 0, so I attach it to the end. 2 times 30 is 60. 2 times this, 2 times that. Now I'm going to do 2 times 5. 2 times 5 is 10. I filled up all my numbers on the inside. Now all I have to do is add them up. So over here I'm going to add 300, and I like to check them off as I go. 50, 60, and 10. Make sure you line up your places too. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0, those are zeros all the way down, so 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 plus 1 more is 12. Bring that 2 and carry that 100. 3 plus 1 is 4, and that is your answer. 35 times 12 equals 420.
That clip just, I mean, it speaks for itself. I don't think I need to say anything else about how ridiculous that is. But speaking of our terrible education system, there's this new app called Magibook AI, which I saw on Instagram yesterday. And it's an app that essentially dumbs down classic literature. They have different settings like beginner, intermediate, and the original. Okay. So the example that the app gives, and I'll show it to you as I'm speaking, the example they give is from The Great Gatsby. So they take a passage from The Great Gatsby, which is not a hard passage, by the way, and rewriting it into simpler text. It takes out all of the nice sort of sentence structure and makes it very, very simple and plain and boring. If you're listening to the podcast version of this, I'm just going to read the example that they give on the app promotion page. The original bit of text reads, quote, "In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since." End quote. First of all, just stating the obvious, The Great Gatsby is not a elementary school level book. It's a high school level book or an undergraduate level book or a graduate level book. Like, elementary school kids probably shouldn't be reading The Great Gatsby. Not that The Great Gatsby is inappropriate. It has a lot of nuances and things that are better understood if you are at the high school level of reading. Anyways, I digress. So if you set it to the basic setting on this Magibook AI app, the sentence reads, quote, "When I was young, my dad told me about something I still think about." Now, let's just compare those two things. How bland is this translation? I don't even know what to call it. And I'm looking at, it's very interesting because I'm looking at the comments for this. Before we continue, I want to recognize and thank our valued sponsors at The Wellness Company. This team of renowned medical professionals, including Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. James Thorpe, Dr. Harvey Risch, Dr. Drew Pinsky, and many other truth-seeking doctors, they have crafted The Wellness Company's Medical Emergency Kit, which contains life-saving medications so you can be prepared for times of crisis. In this kit, you get a little booklet that explains what each medication is, what its side effects are, what it's used for, so that you can be informed about what you're getting. This kit contains a life-saving medication such as antibiotics, amoxicillin, ivermectin, Z-Pak, you name it. In addition to The Wellness Company's wonderful medical emergency kit, which I always have on hand in my house, The Wellness Company has crafted the COVID emergency kit. This is the contagion kit, and again, you get a booklet that explains each and every medication you're getting. This kit contains ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, a nebulizer, and everything you'll need to combat contagions should they be spreading around, especially with talk of bird flu and the next potential pandemic. But pandemic or not, it's great to always be prepared for a time of crisis. Go to dailycloudhealth.com and use promo code KATE for 10% off. That's dailycloudhealth.com, promo code KATE for 10% off. And thank you for The Wellness Company for being our sponsors. Speaking of crisis, the divisive political machine coming out of Washington, D.C. is having a growing impact on our family, friends, businesses, and bank accounts. Inflation is higher than it's ever been. The cost of goods nationwide has skyrocketed, and nations all over the world are starting to abandon the US dollar. So, what do we do about it? Kirk Elliott, PhD, offers expertise in economics and investments to help protect our futures. Because let's face it, the government is not going to protect us, so we need to protect ourselves. Kirk Elliott, PhD, is a trusted name in investment management and wealth preservation. He specializes in helping individuals protect and grow their wealth with a focus on precious metals and other commodities as long-term solutions to safeguard assets against inflation, market volatility, and political instability. What's been happening in our country for the last 4 years has really taken a toll on people, and the government has no solutions. So I'm offering you a solution. Visit dailycloutsilver.com. With expert guidance, individuals can build diversified portfolios that provide a hedge against economic and political uncertainty, ensuring a secure future for you and your families. Visit dailycloutsilver.com. If you're looking to prepare yourself for this coming summer and preparing your garden, or if you just want to be prepared with a stock of food, as we all should, Heaven's Harvest is the answer. They have a crazy variety of seeds to choose from. This is the bucket that I have at my house, which I will be planting. There are so many things in here, guys. I mean, we have collard greens, we have squash, we have tomato, we have Roma tomatoes, Brussels sprouts. The list goes on. The variety is incredible. These packets are also resealable, which is super convenient, so you don't feel like you have to plant all of them at once. Because there are so many, you can reseal and use them again next year. Growing food is such a great option if you're looking to slowly live more and more off the grid, not be dependent on mainstream grocery stores, kind of build your own homestead no matter where you live. But Heaven's Harvest doesn't just offer seed packets, they also offer freeze-dried food packets. So listen up, everyone, because this is super cool. Each freeze-dried food kit has a 25-year shelf life. It's freeze-dried, not dehydrated. Each food variety is individually sealed in UV and radiation-resistant Mylar foil pouches, which is NASA-developed packaging. All the food is non-GMO and made right here in the USA. All you have to do is add water. All the food packs are also resealable for later consumption. And as if we needed another reason, they have gluten-free options. So there's no excuses. There's something for everyone. Go to heavensharvest.com/Kate and use promo code Kate for 10% off. That's heavensharvest.com/Kate and promo code Kate for 10% off. And thank you again to Heaven's Harvest. So check this out. I'll zoom in if you can't see. So this first one says, I thought it was fake, but it was real. I was an English teacher working abroad in Korea, China, and Thailand, and I can confidently say this isn't a learning tool. It's the defacing of literary work. Totally agree with that. I'm going to read more here. Reading education should not require the alteration of the author's words. There are already thousands of books at every reading level that English learners can use to build up to this level of reading. This is close to the old issue with Cliff Notes. It'll help you pass a test or book report, but you won't know what you read. You just get the simplified ideas. The Mona Lisa, if it was painted in only 5 strokes, absolutely. The fact that AI makes it is worse too. It means their developer just put a shell up, ran a few ChatGPT rewrites, then took 10 seconds each and slapped it on the App Store, hoping to eventually convince some dumb publishing house to let them put books that aren't in the public domain on it and scam a living for themselves. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think this is absolutely defacing classic work. If you can't read, if you're not at the level of classic literature, you should be building up to that level, not changing the literature to fit your level of reading. That doesn't even make any sense. There's another review here that says, does not feel right to use it. The intentions feel noble, but the use of AI to simplify great American classics feels disingenuous. Absolutely. Wanting to learn a new language or having issues reading or learning is great, but it ruins a lot of what makes the originals great. Read more and read deeply. You will discover worlds you can't imagine beforehand, but here isn't the right place to do it. Yes, okay, if you're taking all of the beautiful language and simplifying it in a way that makes it boring just so that people who aren't at the level can understand it, we shouldn't be doing that. Stop touching the classics, stop dumbing down things so that people who aren't at that level can understand it better, or people who are lazy can understand it if they don't feel like reading the long version. Oh, this Great Gatsby, guys, it's hard. Look at this. They think the Great Gatsby is hard. This sentence that says, "In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since." That is such a hard sentence, guys.